Well, it wasn't like there was any point where the Australian was like, okay, podcasting's a thing. We're going to invest in podcasts. It was basically just me doing it and then not telling me not to do it.
That's Eric George, former video producer turned podcast pioneer at The Australian, describing the earliest days of podcasting at one of the country's most traditional newspapers. Hi, I'm Harrison Smith, reporting for Scoop. Eric was speaking to a group of media students recently about how big ideas often begin small and how passion, persistence, and a little strategic allyship can change the course of a newsroom.
I got a phone call from the national crime reporter at the time, who now works back in England, but his name's Dan Box, who is an amazing journalist and someone I admired a lot. And he was like, oh, I've got this story that I think would do really well as a podcast about these 3 Indigenous children in northern New South Wales who were murdered 25 years ago. Serial killer, police who saw it, I certainly know who did it, but they never caught him at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a really good idea for a podcast.
The story will become Bear Reveal, a landmark true crime podcast in Australia. But at the time, no one had done anything like serial killing here. So Eric and Dan took a chance, asking the editors for just 1 week to gather material.
And they said, fine, you can go and spend a week in Barraville, which is up near Coffs Harbour, do some recording and then see what happens. And then they forgot that they ever said that to us. And then we went and we edited it, and it was just a lot of work in our weekends and weeknights and just kind of like going back and forth and trying to figure out how the heck we were going to make this. And then it came to the date where we knew we were going to release it, and like, oh, there's a podcast.
The podcast struck a chord. 800,000 listeners, a Walkley Award, and a newsroom that suddenly got it.
Then the newspaper looked at the results and said, okay, this is a good vehicle for us to demonstrate our aptitude for investigative journalism and authoritative storytelling and blah, blah, blah. We should do more of this.
The takeaway? If you're walking into a newsroom today with an idea that no one's tried, don't just pitch it, build it.
As a demonstration of if you want to start something new, I think you're better off giving them something and showing them the value rather than saying, oh, I think this is worth doing. And if they say no, you just kind of give, say, oh, well.
Eric calls it sweet equity, putting in the effort before anyone gives you the green light. And it's advice that still holds up in today's media landscape where new formats keep evolving.
You've got to care a lot to expect other people to care, I think.
That's something to remember the next time you've got a story you believe in, even if no one else sees it yet. I'm Harrison Smith, and you've been listening to Scoop.